There is a fundamental law of business economics, which is advertisers generally do not part with their money unless they get a return on their investment. Hi, I'm Marc Randolph, co-founder of Netflix and 6 other companies. Over the years, I've heard that will never work thousands of times, but I've learned there are things we all can do to increase the chances that they will. So join me for That Will Never Work.
And it's overwhelming in the best of ways, but it's just a lot. It's a lot to handle every day. I'm waking up with 1 million things to do, and I'm going to bed with 10 million things to do.
So my quick answer is stop. Don't sell a franchise. Oh my God, it is a disaster waiting to happen. And again, you now have to factor in this advice based on what I acknowledged before, which is I fundamentally don't believe you've validated that the model actually works. I really don't. And what you need to demonstrate, there's one simple thing you need to demonstrate to prove this model actually works, that free water works, which is that you have an almost limitless supply of advertisers who are willing to pay those cost per thousands, not because of they're testing the water, but because fundamentally this medium is so powerful that it carries a $50 cost per thousand, a $500 cost per thousand. If you prove that you have invented the machine, you have invented the anti-gravity machine, you have done nuclear fusion.
How many repeat advertisers would you say we would need to begin to prove that, is my question?
Way more than 65,000 units. Okay. And listen, there's 2 levels of proof. There's a proof to you internally that you're onto something, that you see it at this small scale. But there's a different level of proof to go, I'm going to take $1 million from somebody else to give them my secret formula because it is going to smell a shitload like a scam to say that I've figured out this model until you genuinely have figured out this model. And again, I'm going to acknowledge I'm missing something here because I'm just the old guy, but there is a fundamental law of business economics, which is advertisers generally do not part with their money unless they get a return on their investment. And that is the piece that has to get demonstrated. I acknowledge you may be onto something because this is a new medium that could be compelling. Prove that. It needs to demonstrate that it works. That's all. And I'm not. So when I'm saying prove this, I'm not saying that that you have to prove it to me or to anybody else. I'm saying that you're asking the question of how it's all going so quickly. And I'm giving you a very specific piece of advice about what should you be spending your time on. Every morning when you say, what should I be spending my time on? And you go, it should absolutely translate to the fact of, is this helping to prove this fundamental anti-gravity piece? That's all. I don't think having it happen all over the world is what's going to make the difference. I don't think responding to all the inquiries from social media is going to make all of the difference. Expansion and doing global soup market, none of that makes a difference. You've got one product, you think it's a great flagship product, and I would tend to believe, demonstrate that the type of person who goes into a soup market and grabs a water bottle for free is going to interact with the brands that paid for it sufficiently to spend enough money that they go, oh my gosh, that was the best $500 per thousand I ever spent. Or I don't care that they said this competes favorably with other places I could spend my $5 million. Once you prove that, and then you world's your oyster. Then screw the $1 million license fee. Change the model. Go, no, you got to spend, put it to charity, but you'll have whatever you want once you've demonstrated that really is the fundamental piece you've cracked. And you're onto some stuff, which is, I recognize you're saying, and I hear you, I can't just paste crap on the bottle and have it work at that level. There's a very special nuance to what it takes to be successful, and you're trying to coach people along. Great. Prove that. The only thing that's going to count is when Nike gets back to you and goes, wow, that was really awesome. We're gonna, this is so compelling, we're gonna make this part of our regular program. Once that happens, and it's not happening yet, but once it does, maybe it is, but I don't, and if it is, I stand corrected. But that's what needs to happen. And since you're limited in how much bandwidth you have as an entrepreneur, as a founder, and I would not be getting distracted by all the other exciting things that this could be. Focus in on the one thing it has to be, and make that happen. And then if you do, this will be incredible. And then you're right. Then you begin expanding the product line, and you begin going to other international locations, and you begin all the other exciting things you have. But none of it will happen unless you can get that fundamental piece to work.
Agree 1,000%.